What up everyone, I am the Guard and welcome back to FriendSim. We are on another act and we are gradually getting way through our friends. Volume 7, Business Frequently. Ever since you were a kid back on Earth, you have always held the deep, close wish to one day travel the world. You wanted to see new places, experience exciting new tastes and altitudes and temperatures, maybe even go scuba diving. You never imagined you would actually get the chance. That kind of cool stuff didn't happen to someone like you. Well, you're finally getting your wish. It's just a totally different world. Funny how life turns out. When you get back to Earth, well, you don't want to think about that. Who knows if it'll ever happen. You've really chilled out recently, found your place in the universe. Drifting from friend to venture to venture. It's the only way to live. Well, in this state, who have we got here? Remele, Namek, and Connell Okimo. Cerulean pirates, more briskers. We've wandered into a part of town that seems to have some culture going on. There are a lot of bright neon lights, and you can't read what the sign says, but you can see arcades, a performance space, and what looks like a movie theatre, perhaps more indie-oriented compared to the mall cinemas you've seen before. As you continue wandering, you come across a trendy-looking building with a placard outside that shows a little cartoon doodle of a fancy waiter holding out trays of snacks. You can't read what the words say, but you recognise the intergalactic signal for free food inside. Come on in. Okay, so we've got the Mona Lisa that kind of looks like... No, I can't remember. It kind of looks like Nepeta. It looks like some of the old classic pieces. American Gothic. That's the Condés Trident. You head inside and it appears to be an art gallery. It must be opening tonight because all the festive decorations are up and a little table offering drinks and hors d'oeuvres. There are many other art appreciators, and your adrenaline spikes when you realise that most of the trolls milling around are purple casts. Well, I recognise those ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just like these two indigos here. I think we're probably going to end up hanging around with her. You're not sure if some paintings or snacks are worth the high chances of being maimed when chaotic violence breaks out, but you're debating the merits of free food versus portable injury and someone approaches you. You don't look like any of my other patrons. Are you lost? Or are you perhaps looking to start collecting? If you're loaded, ignore the first question. Art is for everyone after all, regardless of your blood colour. The 4 black pupils in her eye glint and sparkle, and you're not really sure if it's a menacing or friendly sparkle. She grins at you and shows all her teeth, and she only actually has 1 pupil. That's the first I've seen it on anyone. So, what do you think of the art? Have any paintings caught your eye? You look around. You don't really know much about art, but you are a nerd, and a lot of paintings in here remind you of scenes back from popular movies and games back home. Her work is stunning. Is that troll Mona Lisa? It seems kind of derivative. Get on the good side of the blues. Ha ha! Stop! You flatter! She puts a hand on her hip and winks at you, and you're guessing here that she doesn't actually want you to stop. You're also making the connection that she must be the artist who painted all of these. You sense an opportunity for friendship, so you lay down thick and gush about how talented she is. I thought you looked like a dumbass when you walked in, but you have a good taste after all. Let me show you around. You follow Remele through the gallery, swinging by the table with the free food first. It's pretty good by the standards you've come to expect on Eternia, but what you actually thought was wine at first glance is actually Faygo. No thanks. I've tried Faygo once, but it was grape flavour. It was heinous. Anything that's grape flavour is just tastes of purple. You may have noticed some themes in my exhibited work. I don't love clowns or gore as much as it may seem. That's just what I have for sale here. If you look at my work here online, you'll see the full range of my art. But for this fancy gallery shit, bubble casts are some of my best customers, though clowns fucking love art. They're rich as fuck, and they'll buy anything as long as it's violent enough or features religious themes. You've seen the kind of destruction and mayhem that purple casts are capable of. Who did we see? I don't know. You see, you've been surprised that she doesn't seem to mind being in a crowded gallery with so many of them. Most other trolls you've interacted with have done their best to steer clear of the clown murder cult guys, at least when one of those hate rooms. Oh yeah, we did run into someone. That was a bad ending. Relationship isn't on the table. Isn't it kind of dangerous to actively court them for her audience? Oh sure, they can be unpredictable, and keeping them happy requires some schmoozing. Occasionally you have to pretend like I've drunk a Fago and pull some religious references out of my ass. But it's nothing I can't handle. You can make a lot more money as an artiste if you're not choosy about what you draw. One of my customers is this blue cast moron who only ever commissions me to draw low casts in quadrants with other lowbloods. I've got him convinced I'm giving him a deal on this rate when he's actually playing 5 times what I charge anyone else. My point is, artistic integrity is for chumps. If you want to get ahead in this world, give the people what they want first. That strikes you as a depressing outlook on the creative process, but you're aware by now that the idealism on Alternia tends to lead to shorter lifespans. And you have to admit, looking around the crowd of this gallery, that a cynical approach seems to be working. You tell her that she sounds pretty business savvy, in addition to talented, and she winks at you again. Thanks, I know. Because I like to bank making shit like this, I'm able to fund my passionate projects. You should really check out my webcomic. But before you can find out what her webcomic is about, she notices another troll that has been sidling up to you. As she approaches, she whips out what looks like a small recording device with a smile. Remele's face goes carefully blank and she crosses her arms over her chest. And how may I help you? Do I know? Yes, Miss Namik, I'm with Alternia Nightly, and I must say, looks like you got your first gallery exhibit has been a smashing success so far. The journalist's syrupy tone and innocuous words don't seem threatening to you, but you're picking up some tense vibes from Remele, whose hair ribbon swings from forward in front of her face aggressively. Aggressive ribbon swinging! Of course it's a success. I never expect otherwise. Maybe not for some of the art world who have expressed surprise at the timing of this. Some have called it bold, considering that you're currently in the middle of a plagiarism controversy. Would you like to care to comment this case against you by Trident Media? Instead of being caught off guard by the question sprung on her, Remele relaxes and laughs. Oh, that! As if they have any kind of real evidence that I'm violating their precious intellectual property. All the characters I draw on profit are entirely original, and Trident Media and their Legis Lacerator are just mad about it because the whole internet knows that my storylines are better than the source material. Oops, I mean, better than the unrelated creative work, so that my comic happens to bear a superficial resemblance to. Feel free to quote me on that. The reporter takes a quote and scuttles away. Remele seems unbothered, but he can't help but feel concerned for her. Copyright infringement is serious business. Is that your new friend in legal hot water? Nah, Alternia barely has any copyright protections to speak of. It's just that little pest Gorgic. Gogor! Tried to stir up shit as usual. The company behind his lawsuit wouldn't even care if he hadn't gotten involved. It's no big deal. There's nothing I can't handle. You go back to following her around the gallery, keeping your distance whenever a purple cast comes up to compliment her on her work. You can tell that despite her confident attitude, Remele is still thinking about that journalist. She taps her foot and frowns at the paintings whenever there's a lull in the conversation, throwing glances at the door that the journalist left through. You know, it's not like Alternia has a free press or creditable newspapers. That reporter was probably hired by someone with a grudge to dig up dirt on me. I don't think it was Gorgic, actually. Too obtuse and amateurish. No, this stinks of my competition, the artistique establishment that thinks all I do is fan art and shouldn't be taken seriously as an artiste. All of the paintings are in a museum across the street, and they hate that I've managed to put up my own exhibit. Those stuck-up pretentious bulge scrubs have been trying to sabotage me for so long. She turns to you, her hands balled up into fists, and the X in her eye flashing with passion. I've been waiting for the opportunity to strike back at them. If anyone is going to accuse me of being a thief and a hack anyway, I might as well steal from them for real. But their security is tight, and I haven't had an accomplice. Until now. What do you say? Want to help me pull off a risky art heist? Yes, fuck yes. Hell fucking yes. Sure. Where's that echo? Remele does one last round of the exhibits, saying goodbye to her patrons and grabbing her bag, which seems to be mostly art supplies, as you head out the door and onto the street. The museum that she wants to rob is at the end of the block, in a much bigger, fancier building than the one you just walked out of. All the lights are off inside, and it doesn't have any signs advertising current exhibits. We could do this one of two ways. Follow that journalist and steal the keys if she has them, or break in without them. Steal the keys. You'd much rather walk through an unlocked door than try to bust it down. The reporter's still in sight, turning a corner in the street. You try to imitate Remele's casual yet confident way of walking, like she could blend in anywhere and pull off anything. But despite your efforts to not attract suspicion, you keep getting looks. Not being the same species as everyone around you tends to make you stand out. Oh shit, this could be a problem. I can put together a disguise for you. Hang on. You watch as she starts pulling things from her bag. She seems to have all the sorts of things in there, from paintbrushes to blobs of clay to paint. I think she might be putting together some fake horns for you from scratch real quick. Oh, that'd be neat. But before she could finish, you realise that one of the purple casts is about to walk into Remele's gallery, staring at you. He looks vaguely familiar, and you realise a little too late where you've met them before. When he starts walking towards you. I remember you. You broke into my apartment. I don't even remember the voice I did for this. It was that long ago. It's the same troll that you and Polyper escaped from. You back away as he advances, a lazy grin on his face. Remele glances from him to you and back to him again. Well, fuck. Looks like I'm not going to have an accomplice after all. Sorry, pal. She hoists the bag over her shoulder and shrugs in her hands in a "what can you do" gesture. Then she's gone, the big purple calf paying her no mind as she absconds. You want to feel betrayed, but it's hard to blame her considering how scary the guy is. In your heart, you know you're dead already, but no, you're not going to accept your fate without attempting to prevent it. You make a mad dash to escape, sprinting towards a skinny alleyway and thinking that maybe you can scamper up a fire escape or something. Unfortunately, your attacker's size doesn't seem to slow him down, and you can hear his heavy footfalls right behind you. He laughs, and it somehow sounds dopey and dumb, and completely terrifying at the same time. Obey. You make it to the alley, but you fuck up because it's a dead end and you don't see anything you can use to climb into high enough ground. You turn to face him, hopelessness sinking you down to your toes. Your scrappy alien tenure on this hazardous new planet is about to come to a messy end. The purple blood swings his massive club bravely in one hand as he approaches you, not bothering to run anymore. You drop into a fighting crouch, trying to think back to your third grade karate lessons for any moves that might be useful before he can crush your skull in a flash of movement behind him. He staggers, dropping the club as something hits him from behind. As much as I appreciate inspiring my fans, I'm gonna have to ask you not to interpret my art so literally, as in, no murdering. Remele springs off the troll's back after clawing him and rolls to the side, avoiding his swinging fist. She grabs for his club, which is almost as long as she is tall. Oh, it's like a Misho in her axe, but before she can use it, his next blow catches her below the ribcage, sending her flying across into the alley until the brick falls. She tried to save me! She's on her feet again, but you can tell that she's injured, and now she doesn't have the element of surprise on her side. The purple cast turns his back on you as he closes in on Remele, laughing again. You can't let him kill her, not when she came back for you, but you have no idea how you can help here. Your eyes land on Remele's bag, tossed to the side in the melee. In desperation, you grab a loose paintbrush that rolled out of it. You dive towards with a battle cry and stab the end of the paintbrush deep into the high-cast calf. Violet heme spurts in your face. He yells and you manage to roll away just in time to avoid getting smacked. The slight stab wound hasn't slowed him down much, but it's given Remele, pardon me, I've just eaten scones, a chance to dive out of his range. And while he's still trying to grab you, she gets a hold of the club again. That is huge. That's probably bigger than me. She's stronger than she looks, strong enough to get a good wind up with that thing. And when he turns towards her, she brings it down hard onto his skull. Smack, smack, smash, Remele smash. Now, can I clean my face, please? I can't see. It takes a good few more smashes before the troll finally stops groaning and twitching. Remele bleeds heavily, wiping heme spatter off her forehead. She looks up, meeting your eyes. You are absolutely positive that this has been the most dramatic way you have ever been rescued. You can't believe she came back and risked her life for you. Don't mention it. I need an accomplice, right? She drops the club and staggers over to you, pausing to spit out cerulean heme. You remember that she took some damage and hurry to support her, offering her your weak human arm to lean on. Is she gonna be okay? I'll be fine. Ceruleans are tough to cull, even for a wannabe subjugulator. She tilts her head, looking down at the way her heme swirls in with the larger quantities of purple cast pooling on the asphalt. Huh, that's actually not as bad as an artistic medium. The colours and the textures work well together. Maybe that blue cast kid from Chitter is onto something. Amisha? Anyway, thanks for having my back there with the paintbrushy. That took some quick thinking. We make an okay team. I've never killed anyone before, but that kind of ruled, didn't it? I'm not sure that you would even choose those exact words, but you're pretty relieved right now. It might have not been the heme-thirsty glint in your eyes that Remele does, but maybe you can interpret your adrenaline shakes as euphoric overload or something. Hell yeah, me too. I can see why people get into this killing business. If I wasn't such a great artiste, I'd consider switching careers. But sometimes when you're good at too many things, you have to pick one and stick it to it. So, no professional assassinations for me. I'm still determined to rob the shit out of my competitors though. And you? Now that we've killed someone together, it just makes sense for us to stay partners in crime, right? Your heart leaps at the implication that she wants to stick together. You truly didn't mind breaking every law in the books. It means that she'll be your friend. Nice. We probably don't need to go around breaking every law. I just want to steal us some arte. But maybe we can reschedule the heist for another day. This neighborhood will be crawling with drones as soon as they realize a high caste was killed. I feel a little bad that this troll was attempting to slaughter you ruined Emily's gallery opening. Oh, are you kidding? My customer base loves this kind of shit. My arte will get even more violent a reputation when the word gets out that someone died at my first gallery show. That's metal as spooky. You limp out from the alley, supporting Remele with your arm around her waist, and she directs you to the back entrance of the gallery where the two of you can clean off all the heme and hide until the drones and the crowds are gone. If you don't mind, you can lie low at my place for a few days while we plan this heist. And I might as well get some work done whilst we wait and scheme. The fight here was pretty inspiring. You're already my accomplice, so how do you feel about also being my muse? Oh boy! More blue! Victory! Well, it's a surprising way that we've ended up going. But I'll just dig about for now. But thank you so much for watching. Stick about if you want to see some friends with huge buff women. But for now, just sit tight and stay channel.